GernaderJake dropped a video titled The Truth About Destiny 2 and Bungie, and with a title so spicy, you already know I need to watch and react to this, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to just take some time today to maybe bring the community a little bit more together. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of opinions right now about Destiny, about Bungie, and I feel like this is maybe the least united I've ever felt the Destiny community be. I've
Definitely
been
a lot
part
of
of the
division.
Destiny community since day one.
Look at that throwback.
Of Destiny launch, September 9th, 2014.
That no beard, Jake.
I've been through every single phase of the game, all the goods, all the bads, and I'm not sure I've been this disconnected with the entire community.
Babyface
so
Jake.
let's talk for a bit about
Bring
a
it
whole
back.
lot of different things, and just maybe at the end of this all, we'll feel a little bit more united, and maybe I'm crazy. Let's see. So the first thing I want to say, which is going to turn a lot of heads, and probably people are going to think I'm crazy for even suggesting this, but maybe you'll understand by the end of the little rant. The first thing I want to say is that Destiny is still, and actually is even more so, a great game. It's even better than it used to be.
What?
And that's what's going to turn heads. People are going to be like, are you kidding me? But let's talk about, like, what is Destiny for a second. It is a looter shooter PvE PvP combination where you can play different activities, take the armor or the weapons that you earn from different activities, bring them into other activities, and even more so than that, you can use fragments through different subclasses on different characters, combined with different armor perks, combined with different weapon perks, combined with different artifact perks, to have quite literally an endless combination of possibilities. And that's not even the best part about Destiny. The best part about Destiny is the gunplay. I mean, go play other shooters out there. For whatever reason, Destiny has absolutely killed it.
It's always had the
Bungie's
best
always killed it with how
gunplay.
Gunplay feels in their games. And
But
people
build
have
crafting
the
is huge
false
right now.
narrative of saying that Destiny is a terrible game. It's not. It's fantastic. But for a second, let's talk about maybe why it feels terrible to so many people. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels a little bad to me too. But that's not on Bungie. We're gonna get to Bungie in a bit and all the things that I think they're kind of doing incorrectly. But for now, we're gonna focus on something different. For now, let's focus on us, the community. Bungie isn't doing anything wrong here. It's our expectations that are currently incorrect. Imagine you have a favorite food, a favorite restaurant even, and you go to that restaurant and order the same thing every single meal, not even every day, just every meal.
Delicious.
You love it at the beginning.
Orange chicken.
You like it. By week 2, you're okay with it. By week 3, by week 4, you probably can't stand this anymore.
No,
now, you wouldn't go
Panduh.
to the manager and get mad at them that meal you've ordered 30 times, 90 times, whatever by now.
It'll take years for me to get tired of
the way
Panduh.
it used to be. It's the same kind of system here with Bungie. I genuinely believe that 9.5 years after the launch of Destiny 1, the majority of the frustration related to Destiny 2 just comes from overplaying it. So many people in my Twitch chat will come in after a year or two of taking a break and will talk about how much they miss the game and how much they love it now that they're back. I've even taken a big break from Destiny and come back to it multiple times throughout my career. And when I come back to it, it feels fresh and it feels incredible. This is gonna hurt my viewership on YouTube. It's gonna hurt my viewership on Twitch. I don't care. If you feel this way about Destiny, you feel tired of it, bored of it, frustrated by it, stop playing until final shape. Go play a different game, take a break from gaming, do something else. This game that you once loved probably still feels just as good to you if you just took a break from it and took a step away from it. You come back to it a few months later, I bet you that same spark is reignited, because this game, the gunplay, the abilities, the endless possibilities, the ridiculous number of activities to do, it's still phenomenal. We're just a little bored of it. And realistically, it's more than just being bored of it. It's also very directly related to the community. And what I mean by that is the community not only drives PvP, but also if we have a bunch of friends who are playing Destiny, it's going to be more enjoyable to be playing Destiny. When you've got a big group of people texting each other, Discord pinging each other about the raid, about weekly resets, about doing nightfalls, it's going to get you more excited too. This isn't even a Bungie fault. We're going to get to Bungie stuff soon. But again, this is just a natural 9.5 years after Destiny comes out, 6.5 years after Destiny 2 comes out, people are going to leave the game. People are going to lose excitement for the game. And in doing so, your friend group that plays, they're probably going to not play as much. And also the PvP community, what once was a pretty populated player base allowing for quick matchmaking, little lag, way less sweaty matches that probably bother you. There's going to be way more lag, way longer matchmaking, way more sweaty matches. So that's going to make the game feel worse too. So it's a combination of boredom, but also just the community slowly but surely sort of bleeding away, leaving it less, I don't know, there's just less of a strong community. And this is natural, but it's still a pain point and a point that frustrates people. And I think that they unfairly talk about how horrible Destiny is just because of the very natural pain point that is the decreasing player population and the decreasing community as a result. Now let's talk about Bungie real quick and a couple of ways that I think that they are sort of fueling all this and making things worse than they need to be. One of those ways is that they sort of prey on the nostalgia that we have for Destiny and the emotion that we have from all these, whether you've been playing for 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, whatever, our emotions from playing for so long and being a part of a community for so long. I don't know how many different times in trailers, in interviews or whatnot, you have people on the mic telling us who we are so excited and so thirsty for new content, telling us that the better days are ahead. The best Destiny is still to come. This feels a little bit predatory to me, and it also leads to some false hope that, oh my goodness, Destiny's about to be so good, and therefore when it doesn't match our elevated expectations, we turn towards them in anger and frustration. Bungie doesn't maybe recognize this, but chat, YouTube, friends, Destiny's never gonna be as fun for you as it used to be. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Maybe 1 out of 100 of you are going to actually have this not be the case, and somehow, some way, Final Shape's going to be more fun than you've ever had in Destiny. But
all right, so I paused it there for a second because this is the first thing that I actually disagree with Jake on just a little bit, which is that I think when Bungie says that the best days are ahead for Destiny 2, they mean that they believe that. And I do believe they wholeheartedly believe that. And one thing that's important to note is that if you currently believe that Destiny 2 is in a fantastic state right now, as Jake previously said, and as I personally believe right now, then you also have to believe that Destiny 2 has been getting better incrementally year by year. The systems have been getting better. The builds have been getting better. Weapons, perks, exotics, all these new things are being consistently added to the game, and the game is moving in a net positive direction. So of course, naturally, you're going to believe that the best days of Destiny 2 are ahead. I don't necessarily think it's predatory or disingenuous. I just genuinely believe that Bungie does believe that. And personally, I believe that as well. Not necessarily because Bungie's saying it, but more so because that's just what the pattern seems to be with this game franchise. I'm genuinely looking forward to what happens post Final Shape. And I feel like the new episodic model is going to be a big W for the game, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. So let's continue.
The best Destiny days are behind us. Not gameplay wise necessarily. I believe that they continue to make little quality of life updates here and there, and the game actually, probably gameplay wise, is improving as we go. But something that's unstoppable that Bungie can't do anything about is the newness factor and the nostalgia factor. We look back to 9 years ago or whenever it was you started playing, and they feel like the good old days. All your friends were playing, your community was playing, the game was fresh. You'd never tried a shooter like this where you could get stuff from PvE or PvP and apply them to different builds and use them in different places and grind for specific roles and specific weapons you haven't gotten or perfect armor builds or whatever. It was exciting to you, and that excitement was part of what made Destiny so good. It's never going to feel that good again. You're never going to be able to recapture that excitement again. And I don't want to sound like a negative person. I'm just trying to be realistic. Bungie preys on that a little bit by telling you that the best days are yet to come. And then we, the community, often listen to that, assume that they're telling us the truth, and get really upset when we play that new DLC and it doesn't feel as good as it used to. So I'm going to get to the next big thing that I believe Bungie is sort of doing incorrectly here in a moment. But first, I want to take a quick pit stop and sort of talk about the trajectory of Destiny and what I believe Destiny will look like for the next few years. This problem that we sort of feel at the moment as a community of either being frustrated with the game or there's a lack of a player base or whatever it might be leading up to Final Shape, it's only going to be worse in a year. What I'm about to talk about is not factually sound, but as somebody whose career is very much based around Destiny, and as somebody who hopefully has demonstrated the ability to be very logical and reasonable about things, hopefully you can trust that I have put a lot of thought into this, a lot of analysis into this, and have really looked deep into everything that Bungie's given us. So hopefully this opinion comes with a little bit more weight than maybe somebody else. But if not, that's okay, disregard. I'm almost sure that we are about to get our last ever big DLC, our last ever big raid. And although they are kind of teasing about this idea of episodes kind of continuing forever and people just coming back every 4 months to check out the new stuff in Destiny, this feeling that we have leading up to the final shape of, oh my goodness, we need this so desperately as a community, I think this is the last time we ever get it. 2024, which does mark 10 years that Destiny's been out, and they did promise us 10 years originally. I believe this is the last year that we will ever really have Destiny as we know it. And Bungie's not really being honest about that. They sort of dance around the idea and they make it sound like Destiny's gonna go forever, or not forever necessarily, but that they're continuing year after year after year after 2024 to build on Destiny. And while they may be planning to do that, it's not gonna be the same Destiny that we have known and expected for the last 10 years. That big annual DLC is necessary for how many of us play and envision Destiny. Without subclasses coming out, without big new raids, without all this excitement, there's not gonna be many people returning for these episodes. Maybe
a very interesting statement made by Jake right there in that one. Now that one I have to disagree with wholeheartedly. The final shape being the last big DLC and being the last big raid that we get sounds really wild. And I genuinely don't think that that's the direction that Bungie is trying to take the game with the new episodic model. It would seem more like what Bungie is doing is learning from their past mistakes with the seasonal model and trying to improve on those systems to give Destiny 2 longevity post the final shape. And that longevity would, of course, require big launches at times, big raids, and dungeons. Now, the exact structure of when these things come out, in what episodes, what is the exact cadence, like do we get a new raid or reprised raid every 6 months? Those things are subject to change, I would think, post-final shape, but I would highly doubt that this would be the last big raid that we get. And I could just state this as an opinion and leave it at that, but the reason why I give this opinion is because Bungie is obviously a company with multiple billions of dollars invested into it and everything, right? They want to keep staying successful. They want this franchise to go on in perpetuity, just as other games continue on year after year, update after update, expansion after expansion. You could compare it to a game like World of Warcraft, for example, but it's obviously not the exact same. But that's the general gist of what Bungie is trying to accomplish here, and the reason why Sony would acquire them for multiple billions of dollars. Sony would not acquire Bungie for multiple billions of dollars only to let the game die just a couple years later. So it's really important to understand that there are billions of dollars on the line here. So much is at stake, and Bungie will certainly be delivering a high volume of content post the final shape to excite the old audience that's been playing for 10 years and to also draw in a new audience. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think and let's continue watching.
Maybe episode 1, maybe episode 2, but realistically by mid 2025 I can almost guarantee you that the Destiny player base is going to be a minuscule percentage compared to what it is now. And again, this is not me trying to be negative. It's just me trying to read through the lines of everything they've given us and everything they told us, and Marathon coming out and all that other stuff going on at Bungie that we've heard with layoffs and budget cuts and all of this stuff. Reading between the lines of all of it, this is the last big DLC. This is the last raid. I really wish that they would be honest with us about that and set our expectations correctly. Otherwise, a year from now, in early 2025, the anger and frustration from the Destiny community is going to be 10 times worse than it is right now. I would love to have the final shape be this wonderful conclusion for what has been a 10-year incredible journey in Destiny. I would love for all the OGs and all the people along the way who joined to come together one final time and celebrate the end of an incredible 10-year journey. But I'm fearful that's not what's going to happen, because they're sort of playing on our emotions by selling this idea that episodes will continue the Destiny experience for years to come. Again, it's not factual, but I can pretty much guarantee this is it, friends. As far as we have known Destiny, this is
Jake's
the last
going
year
crazy
it's gonna
out
be
here.
The way that we love it to be. And
Jake's
honestly,
smoking too many
I
carrots.
want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I'm almost
I want
sure
you to
I'm
be
not.
wrong.
Maybe one day in the future, Bungie will make a Destiny 3 or sell the rights to it for another company to make. They did something similar with Halo, because this is a definite, wonderful community of people that at this point may be fragmented in all in all kinds of different places, but they have an opportunity to create a game years down the road that all of us will come back to. One day they probably will make a Destiny 3, but I don't see that day coming for a long time. So to end this rant that I've been recording for 4.5 minutes before I get on to the biggest problem I have with Bungie. Man, I'm doing this all with no script, by the way. No preparation. I just took a shower and was thinking about, I should record a video talking about this stuff.
That's what you're thinking about in the shower,
anyway,
Jake?
to conclude
Destiny 2?
I think I've said everything I need to
Bungie?
say. We'll move to the next segment about some issues I got with Bungie. All right, well, here's where things get a little personal and the whole story related to Bungie. My biggest personal issue with Bungie and where we are currently as a fragmented community is their inability to tackle the cheater and harassment problem in Destiny. And
bad.
You might be thinking, oh my God, here he goes again, or like they have an anti-cheat, what's wrong with it? But here's the problem. The anti-cheat may catch a few things, a few people here and there, but so many people cheating, whether that's hardcore aim hacking, wall hacking, whether that's CRONUS's or Zims giving bonus aim assists and all kinds of crazy stuff they do that I don't even fully understand. People are getting through, and a lot of people are getting through. And while maybe you don't experience it to the level I do, as someone who plays 3v3, streams it and gets harassed by these people, specifically sniping me, targeting me, watching my stream to match against me and cheat against me and ruin my carry. While you may not experience it as badly as I do, anybody who's playing PvP, even on console where Zims and CRONUS's exist, they're dealing with cheaters on a much more frequent base than they should have to. And the reason I'm so frustrated with Bungie here, I understand that many video games are dealing with cheaters and that it's not necessarily a Bungie problem. They have a lot of creators, I'm gonna raise my hand and say I'm one of them, who does everything they can to take down the names of people who are cheating, of people who are harassing, and provide as much evidence as possible as to all of the terms of service that they are breaking, and then hand deliver them to people who specifically work at Bungie for these things. Yet, month after month after month, these same people who've been either terrorizing me or terrorizing the playlist or whatever, they're still playing. People from Bungie aren't actually taking action on things that should be extremely easy to take action on. And that is what is so frustrating, because as a PvP streamer, I'm constantly seeing my Twitch chat, which is full of people who play or used to play PvP. I'm seeing that frustration minute after minute. Someone's complaining about losing their
cheating epidemic is coming back.
Maybe they quit Destiny entirely because they just can't handle getting to 3 or 4 wins just to match a cheater.
I just quit trials.
Lose all that progress they've had. People are fed up. They're tired. And one of the biggest reasons that the Destiny community is as depleted as it is, especially in the PvP world, is because of Bungie's lack of ability to actually take action on these people that are so easy to discover. Not only are streamers hand feeding them to the people at Bungie who have requested them, but anybody with even just a little bit of an idea could use websites, could use, I mean, I would think there would be algorithms or AI for this, but you could look up stats and quite easily pinpoint people who are not legitimate. Maybe somebody at Bungie could work
do it all the
on
time
this and actually help their community. Imagine just looking every week at the top weekly KDs in Trials of Osiris. Oh, the top guy's got a 30.0. Let's
that
look
seems
at him.
legit.
Oh, he's only played 2 matches and he went 15-0 both times, and okay, it's actually fine. Next guy's 29.8.
Redbox
he's
is on
played
his
100
screen.
matches, and his most kills
Seems
with weapon
normal.
is a heavy weapon. Okay,
I see
so
nothing wrong here.
Heavy. Oh goodness, let's deal with that.
What's wrong with Infinite
Next
Heavy?
guy's a 19 KD.
Just
Whoa,
popped a
dude, he's
synth.
got 600 kills with Cloud Strike and a 99% headshot ratio, and he made his account yesterday. That's kind of a problem. Things like that wouldn't be hard to do, but no one's doing it. Bungie, I'm gonna say this directly to anybody who's listening. I will pay for the salary of somebody to do the job I am describing.
Let's go, Jake.
If you have no money, because that's been a thing we've heard from Bungie.
Hire me.
They've got budget issues and they can't afford things. I will finance this. If you want to hire somebody to manually
$1 million
review Trials of Osiris and any PvP accounts that are flagged by a lot of people who statistically are just wildly improved compared to anybody else. If you want to manually review that,
seriously, that's actually what they need.
I will pay for it. That's how serious I am about how easy this would be and how much it would help the Destiny community. There's a lot of false narrative out there about me thinking everyone's a cheater. For anybody who's actually watched my Twitch for more than 1 or 2 matches, you probably know that that's not true. But for all the people on Twitter who love to just believe the pitchfork garbage, most likely for every 95 to 96 people that I am sure is cheating and say is cheating and is indeed cheating, there's maybe 3 or 4 who I get incorrect. And I will admit that's not good. I should probably not call people cheaters unless I'm 100% sure that they are. But there are always clips of the one time I got wrong that blow up versus the 99 I get right that don't. The point I want to make here is I'm not the one who I don't want to take responsibility for banning the cheaters. I don't want that job. But having some unbiased person review people who are being flagged by many people, whose stats way outmatch anybody else's, whose accounts are brand new, who maybe used to be a 0.4 last season and now are a 4.8. Things that just don't make sense. How is nobody at Bungie doing anything about it? It actually infuriates me that a loyal community of people who have been playing their game for 9+ years, spending money on their studio year after year, showing undying loyalty to their game. It drives me crazy that Bungie wouldn't just do us the tiny bit of service of having one person manually going through.
It might need to be more than one person,
probably cleansing 80% of the freaking cheater problem in Destiny. And sure,
these cheaters probably wouldn't get it all.
Accounts. They'd still have to pay for LIGHTFALL or whatever the newest DLC is to play trials. These cheaters will just do more account recoveries. Sure, there are some very not intelligent people who give their accounts to cheaters who are saying, the cheaters are saying, hey, we'll get your account flawless. Just give us 30 bucks. We'll log in. We'll go flawless for you. We'll give you back your information. Well, they changed their password. They go flawless while cheating. That's now their account. That's going to dry up. If they keep banning everyone doing this, the pool of accounts these people can create and get are going to dry up. So that excuse of like, they'll just get a new account doesn't make sense. Bungie needs to take action on these people. There is extremely clear and easy ways for them to do it, yet they refuse to do it. It's killing their PvP community. It's just absolutely infuriatingly in the face of all of us who've supported their game for so long. And it's the biggest problem I have with them. I want to make this clear too. Bungie's a giant company. I don't know if it's 1,000 people, 1,400 people. I'm not sure, but it's a big company. I don't have issues with everyone at Bungie, and I probably get misquoted and misinterpreted too often by just using the term Bungie too freely. I'm probably talking about 1% of the people at Bungie when I say things like this. All of the devs who worked their ass off, DLC after DLC, update after update, I respect them so freaking much. Those devs work hard and they create an incredible game. I am a huge fan of the vast majority of Bungie, but whoever's in charge of security, I don't know who's in charge of it, but whoever is, I've got a problem with you. Whoever still works in the security team, I've got a problem with you. And realistically,
he calling them out.
Whoever's at the top of Bungie managing all this, I have a problem with you.
Dang.
That's where my problem is. I can't believe nothing's being done, but tip of the cap to all the devs who worked their ass off. I don't want any disrespect towards you from me or any of my viewers. And honestly, that's it. Unscripted ranting. I hope it made sense and was good. To sort of take it all and bundle it real quick. Destiny is still an incredible game. We just might be a little bored of it. Take a break if you feel that way. Come back to it. You might be surprised by how good it is. Whether you love Destiny still or not, come back for Final Shape. Although Bungie's not making it very clear, it's pretty obvious to me that this is their last big bang for Destiny. If you've ever been a big fan of Destiny in the past, do not miss Final Shape. It's coming out June 4th. Here I am basically advertising for Destiny, but as a huge fan and player of the game, I want to see the community come together for the Final Shape and enjoy it as what it should be, a wonderful send-off before Destiny changes forever as we know it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you making it all the way through the video.
All right, so to quickly summarize this video, in my opinion, Jake obviously loves doing trials carries, something that I've done a ton of as well. And the cheating epidemic has gotten out of hand. So basically, he's not able to do trials carries because the cheating is just so crazy, which is super unfair and super ridiculous that there are that many cheaters in the game, that trials carries are being thwarted by stream sniping, constantly hacking, and none of them are getting banned. So that's kind of his focal point of frustration here, if I had to put it down to one thing. His ideas about the Final Shape and that being kind of the end of the big raids in the game, I don't know where those are coming from. I don't know if he has some crazy insider information or something, but I personally have not seen anything to lead me to that inclination. But to each their own. It still was a great video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button. See you in the next one.